And today we go back to the year 1997 for the second ever game in franchise history, the first afternoon game in franchise history, where the Scream Eagles defeated the Drummondville Voltigeurs 4-1 at Center 200. Randy Copley leading the way with 2 goals in this contest. 2-point nights for Ryan Walsh, Board Sorley, Artem Reben, and Travis Zachary. Reben's goal being the first one of his Q career. Daniel Lavoie standing tall in this game as he made 39 saves for the win. Benoit Vezina dropping the gloves against Carl Bartunes. Yannick Carpentier dropping the gloves against the future Halifax Moosehead, Yasmin Jelena. 16-year-old Danny Dallaire, future Scream Eagle, was the backup goaltender for Drummondville in this game. Speaking of Danny Dallaire, he had come and gone by the time the year 2001 arrived, and he was in nets for Halifax as they defeated the Scream Eagles 4-2 on this day. Dallaire making 26 saves in the victory. The Eagles actually led this game 2-0 after 20 minutes on goals by Andre Martineau and Pascal Morency, but they were trailing by the end of 40 minutes. Jason King, Brandon Benedict, and Sebastian Laprise, the Mooseheads, leading the way with 2 points. A number of fights in this game, as often the case between these two teams. Hunter Lahash dropping the gloves with a Cape Breton native, Ryan McPherson on the Mooseheads. Pascal Morency fighting with Michael Couch, and Ryan White of the Mooseheads fighting Justin Hocko of the Eagles. In 2003, on this date, is one of the more infamous dates in Cape Breton Scream Eagles history, and one of the more interesting ones from a historical perspective. It's the win that wasn't. The Scream Eagles appearing to win 7-0 in Baie-Comeau with Adam Party and Charles Fontaine in the lineup. However, they were ineligible players, deemed ineligible because they had been suspended. Pascal Vincent, the Eagles coach, inserting them into the lineup, but was given incorrect information apparently because they were not eligible to play. The QMJHL would later rule that individual statistics for this game would count in the record books, which leads to an interesting fact that Francois Proto's 18-save shutout counted in spite of the fact his team actually lost the game. While the game was played, Steve Dixon with 2 goals, for Cape Breton, JF Sear with 2 goals as well, a goal and 3 assists for FP Gannett, and 2-point nights for Max Lassard and Guillaume Demers. Loic Lacasse had a rough night in net, 4 goals on 11 shots, and he was pulled in under 10 minutes. Some scraps in this one as well. Nathan Vigneault dropping the gloves with Pierre-Luc Leblond-Letourneau, Marc-André Bernier fighting Ryan James Hand, Charles Fontaine fighting Patrick Laurent. The Eagles had a number of power play opportunities in this game. They go 3 for 16, so Francois Proto gets the win and the shutout, but the Scream Eagles technically lose. In the year 2004, the Scream Eagles had their home opener against the PEI Rocket, and they would fall by a score of 5-2, still winless 3 games into the season in spite of a perfect preseason. David Laliberte leading the way for PEI with a goal and 3 assists. Max Lapierre with 4 assists for the Rocket. For Cape Breton, it was Kevin Asselin and Sam Bailon getting the goals. Francois Proto got the start but was pulled after allowing 3 goals on 11 shots. David Victor dropping the gloves against David Laliberte. Robin Richards for Cape Breton fighting against Connor McDonald. Neil Smith of the Eagles dropping the gloves twice in this game against Anthony Potocznik and Jimmy Bono. It was a similar tough start to the season 1 year later, as in 2005, the Scream Eagles fell 3-1 in Victoriaville and dropped to 0-4 to start the season. Maxime Noreau, Philippe Brisebois, and Toby Lafrance were the goal scorers for the Tigre. Josh Torgsman playing well in goal for Victoriaville with 29 saves. Andre Pavelek playing well in the loss, making 29 stops. Kevin Asselin, the lone goal scorer in this game for Cape Breton. Charles Fontaine dropping the gloves in this one against Eric Lazon. Power outage in this game for both teams as the Eagles went 1 for 12 on the power play. Victoriaville going 0 for 8. We do have a win to tell you about, and that was in the year 2007 when the Scream Eagles were victorious 6-1 in St. John. Kyle Mariani leading the way with 2 goals and an assist, and also 2 goals and an assist for former Sea Dog Jonathan LeBerge. 2-point nights for Nick McNeil and Dean Ouellette, and Olivier Waugh in goal making 26 saves, getting his first Q win. The lone Sea Dogs goal coming from Cape Breton native Ryan Sparling. Olivier Malka, the Eagles dropping the gloves against Mike Thomas. In 2008, the Eagles were off to a great start as they had 5 straight wins to start the season after a 5-2 win in St. John. 2-point nights for Chris Culligan, Mike Stinziani, Nicholas Chouinard, Jeremy Gucci, and Jan Piskacek. Waugh making 24 saves for the win. St. John goals in this game scored by Cape Breton native Michael Kirkpatrick and former Scream Eagle Francois Gauthier. In 2011, the Scream Eagles won a very evenly played game against Chicoutimi, with the Eagles winning 3-2 in a shootout, and the shots in this game were 29 apiece. Alex Verano makes 27 saves in the win, Francis DeRosier makes 27 saves in the loss. For Cape Breton, it was Dennis Kindle and Jonathan Brunel getting the goals. For Chicoutimi, it was Charles Hudon and Etienne Boudreau, each with 2 assists. Logan Shaw, the only goal scorer in the shootout in this game for the Eagles. In 2012, the Scream Eagles opened their season at home against the Halifax Mooseheads, the last time they would open at home prior to this season, and they would fall 4-3 to the Mooseheads in overtime, although the Eagles did rally from down 3-1 in this game. 2-point nights for Halifax players Brendan Duke, Jonathan Drouin, and Stéphane Fournier. Of course, older brother of Ty Fournier. Nathan McKinnon with the overtime winner for the Mooseheads. On the Cape Breton side of things, Philippe Trudeau playing very well, making 41 saves in the loss. William Carrier with 2 assists in this game. Clark Bishop playing his first QMJHL contest. Debuting as Screaming Eagles were Justin Hache and Simon Darvaux, a captain who would only play 4 games for the Eagles before suffering an injury. That is this day in Screaming Eagles history.